The Sodality of Our Lady is a Roman Catholic Marian society founded in 1563 by young Belgian Jesuit Jean Lunes, at the Collegio Romano of the Society of Jesus. The Ignatian-led group Christian Life Community traces its origins to the first sodality. Although first established for young schoolboys, the papal bull Superior Disposition Sodalities for adults, under the authority of the Superior General of the Society of Jesus, were allowed to be established. Later on, sodalities would be established for particular groups in society, such as priests, noblemen and women, merchants, laborers, clerks, the married, the unmarried, soldiers, street sodalities. Each of these groups would be affiliated with the Prima Primaria Sodality of the Roman College, and met at the Oratory of San Francesco Saverio del Caravita. History. Foundations. The Jesuit historian John W. O'Malley wrote of the foundations of the sodality in his book The First Jesuits, that it was made up especially of younger boys from the college, who were agreed to daily mass, weekly confession, monthly communion, as well as to a half-hour of meditation each day and to some other pious exercises. They would also serve the poor. He goes on to write that the choice of Mary as patron reflected the strong Marian element in Lunes's personal piety, but it was also probably considered appropriate for the age of the members. In 1569, a division of the sodality in the Roman College became necessary on account of the large number of members. The older pupils, those over 18 years of age, formed a sodality for themselves, while the younger were formed into another. Soon there were 3 sodalities in the Roman College. In 1584, the Roman sodality was made an arch-sodality by the bull Omnipotentus Dei of Gregory XIII. Wherever the Society of Jesus went to establish colleges or missions, a sodality of the Blessed Virgin was soon erected in that place. In all the larger cities of Europe where the Jesuits established themselves firmly, they founded not merely one, but as many as 7 or even 20 different sodalities. During the period that the sodalities were connected with the houses and churches of the Jesuits, the membership rose to many hundred thousands. In 1587, following a request from the Society of Jesus, Pope Sixtus V issued the papal bull Superior Disposition, which gave the Superior General of the Society of Jesus the right to create aggregates of the first congregation within other localities, even among persons who were not enrolled in a Jesuit school or university. As a result of this document, lay congregations, such as the Ignatian Christian Life Community, and the Ignatian in origin, Marianische Frauen Congregation, or Ladies Sodality of Our Lady, of Regensburg, Germany, derive the beginnings. 17th century. In the late 16th century and throughout the 17th, Jesuits were using the model of the first sodality at the Roman College to establish a number of similar sodalities in Europe, India and the Americas as organizations of lay spirituality. Similar models, although not aggregates of the Prima Primaria, were the confreres founded by the Jesuits in Japan. Within a few years of their arrival in 1549, the Jesuits had established lay communities of Catholic faithful, according to O'Malley, eventually had male and female branches and devoted themselves to both the corporal and spiritual works of mercy. When the persecutions started in the 17th century, proved to be the underground institution in which Christian faith and practices were maintained and transmitted to the next generation. The leader of the confraternity acted as a lay pastor. About a century later, in 1748, Pope Benedict XIV, with the papal bull Prayer Claris Romanorum, attempted to renew the vigor of congregation life. For 167 years of the sodality's existence, from 1584 to 1751, membership was open only to men. the Sodality after the suppression of the Society of Jesus. In 1767, the Society of Jesus was expelled from Latin America, and in 1773, with the suppression of the Jesuits by Pope Clement XIV, through the brief Dominus Ac Redemptor, the congregations become one of the normal works of the Universal Church. The Society of Jesus was re-established in 1814, and Leo XII restored to the Jesuit general his old rights and privileges as regards the Sodalities of the Blessed Virgin by a brief of 17 May, 1824. In 1825, Pope Leo XII granted affiliation to Sodalities not under Jesuit direction. By 1854 there were over 4,000 Sodalities enrolled throughout the world. Papal blessing. In 1748, Pope Benedict XIV made a special gift to the Sodality, in the form of a papal bull called Gloriose Domine, which came to be known as the Golden Bull, because the seal was not made of lead, as was customary, but of gold, in order to give special honor to the Mother of God. In addition, Pope Pius XII, through the Apostolic Constitution, called Bis Seculari, gave special honor to the Sodality by summarizing the history and relevance of the Sodality. Apostolic Constitution, Bis Seculari. Pope Pius XII issued the Apostolic Constitution Bis Seculari on the 27th of September, 1948, to mark the 200th anniversary of the Golden Bull of Benedict XIV. Bis Seculari praised the Sodality for its numerous and great services to the Church, and said of the Sodalists that, indeed, in propagating, spreading and defending Catholic doctrine they must be considered among the most powerful spiritual forces. Of the rules of the Sodality he says, through them the members are perfectly lead to the perfection of spiritual life from which they can scale the heights of sanctity, and adds that, wherever Sodalities are in a flourishing condition, holiness of life and solid attachment to religion readily grow and flourish. He illustrates the point by adding that the fact that they ever had the common good of the Church at heart and not some private interest is proved by the unimpeachable witness of that most brilliant series of Sodalists to whom Mother Church has decreed the supreme honors of the altars. Their glory throws lustre not merely on the Society of Jesus but on the secular clergy and on not a few religious families, since 10 members of the Sodalities of Our Lady became founders of new religious orders and congregations. The Children of Mary. On May 1, 1835, Street, Catherine Labra told her spiritual director of a revelation she had received from the Blessed Virgin Mary during a series of apparitions she received in the convent of the Rue du Bac, Paris. From 1830, it is the Blessed Virgin's wish that you should found a confraternity of the Children of Mary. She will give them many graces. The month of May will be kept with great splendor, and Mary will bestow abundant blessings upon them. These Children of Mary's Sodalities first embraced the pupils and orphans of the schools and institutions of the Sisters of Charity of St. Vincent de Paul. In 1847, Blessed Pius IX affiliated them to the Jesuit Roman Sodality. The badge adopted by the Children of Mary Immaculate is the Miraculous Medal, suspended from a blue ribbon. The Children of Mary organization flourished in the mid-20th century. Young women went through a period of aspirancy of 6 months prior to acceptance as a fully fledged Child of Mary, who had the right to wear the distinctive blue cape and carry the blue cape of a Child of Mary. When a Child of Mary married, she was embraced on arrival on the church steps by other Children of Mary who removed the blue cape from over her wedding gown. Christian Life Community. In the history of the Christian Life Community, it states that, following the suppression of the Society of Jesus, in the 18th century membership increased vastly from 2,500 groups to 80,000. The consequence is a diminishment in fervor and practice, the spiritual life of the members and the social concern for the rejected of society is reduced to pious practices and annual and symbolic events. The Marian congregations a pious mass movement, different from what Ignatius Agene Lunes or Aqua Viva had meant it to be. Those who still form part of the Marian congregations, such as the Marianische Frauen congregation of Regensburg, Germany, would argue otherwise. While some Marian sodalities do not explicitly follow Ignatian spirituality, they continue to encourage corporal and spiritual works of mercy, and believe the devotional practices worthy of merit. Sodality Rules. The first of its rules states that the Sodality is a religious body which aims at fostering in its members an ardent devotion, reverence, and filial love towards the Blessed Virgin Mary. Through this devotion, and with the protection of Sigurd Mother, it seeks to make the faithful gathered together under her name good Catholics, sincerely bent on sanctifying themselves, each in his state of life, and zealous, as far as the condition in life permits, to save and sanctify the neighbor and to defend the Church of Jesus Christ against the attacks of the wicked. Post-Vatican II and the advent of the Christian life communities. Until the establishment of the Christian life communities in 1967, the Sodality of Our Lady remained the Ignatian lay organization. Many Sodalities of Our Lady, in the spirit of the Second Vatican Council, were led to become more devoted to people who were in spiritual and physical need, after having been encouraged to return to their original charism by the Ecumenical Council. Some Marian congregations have been reconstituted since Vatican II. The Marianische Frauen Congregation A Lady Sodality of Our Lady of Regensburg is a case in point. HSH Princess Gloria von Thurn Taxis is the refounding prefect. Notable members, saints on its rolls are the names of many saints, amongst whom may be mentioned St. Charles Borromeo, the zealous reformer of church discipline; St. Alphonsus Liguori, the bishop, moral theologian, doctor of the church, founder of the Redemptorists; St. Camillus de Lellis, the patron of Catholic hospitals; St. Giovanni Battista de Rossi, the Vincent de Paul of Rome; St. Peter Claver, the apostle of slaves, the humble Jesuit brother; St. Alphonsus Rodriguez, St. Madeleine Sophie Barat, foundress of the Religious of the Sacred Heart; St. Julie Billet, the foundress of the Sisters of Notre Dame of Namur; St. Therese of the Child Jesus, and St. Bernadette Soubirous of Lourdes. For 6 years Francis de Sales worked, during his student life, in the Sodality of the College of Clermont at Paris as member, assistant, and prefect. Also members were St. Stanislaus Kostka, John Birchmans, St. Francis de Sales, St. Fidelis of Sigmaringen, Franciscan preacher St. Leonard of Portmaurice, St. Peter Furrier, St. John Baptist de Rossi, and Jean Eudes.